But now, nearly 10 years later, self-driving cars have moved well beyond Hollywood fantasy.
You can just say, hey, I don't want to drive right now, just take over, and if I want to be back in the driver's seat, I'll just grasp the wheel and go.
At the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas last week, a demonstration showing it's possible to even catch some Z's in this Audi prototype.
We call it piloted driving, and that means there is a driver, but he can concentrate on something else if he doesn't want to actively drive.
And it's coming much sooner than you think. The state of California is taking aggressive steps to get driverless cars on the streets as early as this spring for testing.
We're developing the regulations to allow for these autonomous vehicles to be tested on our roadways as well as being operated on our roadways.
So on Tuesday, the California Department of Motor Vehicles held a public hearing to discuss the rules of the road for autonomous cars. For some car makers like Volkswagen, there's concern that some regulations might be too strict. For instance, the proposed rules require that a driver must be seated in the driver's seat in case they need to take over. That only seems to make common sense. But perhaps giving us a glimpse into the future, a Volkswagen official says that might be too limiting.
And we contemplate an occasion where, with redundant controls in what is referred to or known as the passenger seat, we like to call it the co-driver's seat.
The most well-known autonomous car comes from Google, which shows off how the vehicle could someday help the blind. The tech company is fighting a proposed requirement that it should report any time an actual driver needs to override the computer, saying a lack of context could give the wrong impression about safety.
Maybe this published information would mislead people into not understanding what it really meant.
Other issues like who's responsible if the car crashes, the car maker or the driver, are also part of the discussion. Michigan, Florida, Nevada, and the District of Columbia have also passed laws allowing for driverless cars and are grappling with some of the same issues. We may not have flying cars yet, but the dream of a George Judson self-driving vehicle is surely on its way.
Now, a team of U.S. robotics experts have put together a pop group of flying drones who will play a string of live dates this weekend.
Daniel Melinga, a former student of Pennsylvania University and co-founder of KML Robotics, talked to the BBC about how the band was formed.
The robots will be performing at the USA Science and Engineering Festival in Washington, D.C. in a bid to recreate before a live audience that they previously achieved in the recording studio. Take a look.
The vehicles are doing this all themselves based on the sensors on board the vehicles, as well as the sensor network that's off board the vehicles. And we have computers that are talking to the vehicles. We are sending commands to the vehicles at 100 times per second. So that every 100th of a second is getting a new command. So the timing is very precise. We've been working with technology, these flying robot technology, for a number of years. So to get to sort of this base level where we could even attempt to do something like that took several years. And we designed new instruments and new ways to play instruments. The single-string guitar, which is an instrument that sort of we invented. One vehicle actually pulls a carriage up and down a string. So it basically pulls a fret up and down a string, which changes the length of a vibrating string, which changes the pitch. This is all autonomous, so we basically click a button to tell the vehicles to start the show, and then that's it.
The Acrobat wheel, produced by Israeli startup Softwheel, uses a suspension system designed to make life easier for wheelchair users.
A three-pronged moving suspension system between the wheel rim and hub absorbs the impact of curbs and states, giving a smoother ride.
The wheel's hub shifts automatically when navigating obstructions, expanding or retracting the wheel's three spokes to absorb most of the impact. Enjoy this report.
The Acrobat wheel, produced by Israeli startup Softwheel, uses a suspension system designed to make life easier for wheelchair users. A three-pronged moving suspension system between the wheel rim and the hub absorbs the impact of curbs and stairs, giving a smoother ride. Dror Cohen uses the Acrobat on his own wheelchair.
Where I want to go, I just go, and if I want to go down a sidewalk to get to the other side of the road, I just go down, and it's a very new sensation.
The wheel's hub shifts automatically when navigating obstructions, expanding or retracting the wheel's three spokes to absorb most of the impact.
This is the mechanism which is connected to the rim. This is the hub. It usually sits in the center of the wheel, as the hub usually does. But when it encounters an obstacle, the hub shifts. The arms, you know how to change their position and make the hub shift inside of the rim that surrounds the mechanism, allowing it to absorb all the energy from the obstacle, and within a fragment of a second it regains its rigidness by shifting back to its center position.
Computerized analyses of videos of the wheels in action helped technicians achieve what they believe is the optimal design. The firm has also created a similar system for cyclists, which is currently being tested. Both versions can be retrofitted to existing wheelchairs and bicycles, and the company says the wheelchair system will go on sale this year. But cyclists will have to wait until 2015 for a smoother ride.
Now that's it for this episode of the Tech Biz Inside Show, and always remember you can watch this episode and any other one you've missed online.
And before we take a leave of you, we have this amazing short clip for you.
Enjoy it and have a good night.
Maloya mayinde kanata kanta itimirila kumakama nyarabi maloya mayinde